Oh, hey, didn't see you there. So glad you're here, though. I'm Amanda, your Vice President Community, and welcome to my home. I actually don't really know how you got in here, but I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to grab a cup of coffee and I'll meet you in my room. Speaking of homes, I guess it is that time of year again where flat hunting is on the brain. And whether you're looking for your first or fourth flat in the city of Edinburgh, it can be a really overwhelming process. But I'm here to reassure you that it is completely okay to feel nervous or stressed, but do not panic. It is so important to not rush into anything, and from personal experience, I can tell you that quickly signing a lease or not properly inspecting your flat is not ideal. Whether you want to move in the summer or in September, you have plenty of time. And in a year where we've spent a lot more time in our home than ever anticipated, it is so important to find accommodation that is not just a place to stay, but is a real home and safe space for you. So in order to help, I figured I'd give you some tips on flat hunting. And in order to do so, let's head on over to my office, which is conveniently right there. If you're unsure about who you're going to live with, a great place to start is websites like Spare Room or the Facebook group The Meadow Share, and also keep your eyes out for the Students Association's own flat sharing site to be launched soon. Also this year, ResLife is hosting flatmate speed meeting events for all students online. It is so important to make sure you take the time to get to know the people you're going to live with and meet safely under COVID-19 restrictions. Make sure you're on the same page about budgets, areas to live in, when you want to move in, and just what your overall expectations are for communal living. A few years ago, changes were made to Scottish tenancy law, which means properties can become available at any time during the year, as tenants only need to give 28 days notice to move out of their property. So don't be nervous if you don't see any properties at the moment, and equally, don't rush into signing anything if you're not looking to move in for another few months. The Advice Place has great resources on our website about the different types of private accommodation in the city, and if you're not really sure where to start, a great thing to do is set your budget and your ideal locations. Don't be afraid to look outside the central campus area, as that tends to be in high demand and high priced. I currently live in an area I had never been to 2 years ago, and I love it. It's quite nice, right? When looking for a flat online, it is so important to be careful and avoid scams, and do not send any money online to a landlord or letting agency before viewing and inspecting the property first. Despite lockdown restrictions, online flat viewings are still possible, and there are some key things you should look out for before you sign a lease for a flat. This includes what appliances are there, if there's any double glazing because it gets cold, are there any signs of damp, or is the hot water running in the shower because, as I said, it gets cold. Don't be afraid to ask a lot of questions about the property you're viewing, and if the person showing it to you seems uncertain or can't answer your question, make sure to confirm details via email. Another important thing to note is that a lot of properties require a UK-based guarantor, and if you do not have one, you may need to pay rent in advance. If you have any questions about guarantors, make sure to check out the Advice Place's website or the university's own guarantor scheme. Take the time to understand what you are signing. The Advice Place offers a free service where one of their trained advisors will go through your lease and highlight anything which may be illegal or which may cause issues down the line. Also, very important, it is illegal for letting agents or landlords to charge extra fees or premiums. So if you're asked to hand over any money which isn't your deposit or rent, pause and contact the Advice Place for support. Finally, all landlords in Scotland must be registered, so make sure to check that your landlord shows up in the Scottish Landlord Register. Well, that has been a quick recap of some things I think you need to know before you start flat hunting, but I'll leave you with one final piece of advice. There are so many students studying in Edinburgh who are also private tenants, so reach out to other students. I can almost guarantee everyone has a story about how they found their flat or a piece of advice they wish they knew before they started flat hunting. Or students might be in the middle of finding a flat right now themselves and could just use the shared camaraderie or support. Another great thing to do is join and become a member of Edinburgh's local tenants union, Living Rent. It's a great way to connect with other tenants in the city and also fight for better housing for all. So I'll leave you with that. If you have any questions or need any other support flat hunting, make sure to reach out to the Advice Place and check out their website for more information. I'm gonna go make the long commute back to bed, but do you want me to show you the way out? I mean, or you could stay. I will be staying at home all day, every day. So up to you. But see you later.